Hello, hello there. Oh, we're still on. Oh, that was an awesome beginning.
Are you serious?
And we're starting on Short. Hello, Short. Our furniture.
So, 7th episode in and we started with an error already.
Yeah, awesome.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Castlefest Lockdown TV. We have a lot of guests today, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of guests. I wanted to point out this thing you see here is actually a beautiful thing Femke ordered from Kin Fables.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
If you like mythical worlds and awesome videos, check out Kin Fables.
Yeah. But you're probably here for the music, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute. How are you doing, Sjoerd?
I am doing very well, Erik.
Yeah?
I'm doing very well, yes.
Yeah? We made you a bumper.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And we're gonna show it in a moment. Yeah. So let's go and have a talk with our first guest. Let's see.
Welcome, Seed.
Yeah, wait. Yeah. Oh, not ready yet. Welcome, Seed.
Yay!
Do you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. So, how are you doing?
Good, I think. Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Same as everyone.
Yeah, it's
The
a
lockdown?
strange.
Yeah.
How
It's a
about
strange
you? Answer.
Bad sleeping, right? Because the full moon.
Yes, lots of energy,
Yeah.
and not a lot to use it on at the moment.
No.
That's a funny thing. I talked to Lars this week about releasing this great new album, and he said, "Yeah, I only want to release it during a pagan thing, right?"
Yeah, I think that was Koen actually,
Yes.
but I don't know if
Koen.
Lars has a secret life
Sorry,
that I
Lars,
don't know
sorry,
about, but it's very well possible. No, yes, we were actually planning on releasing a new single on Beltane, but it's not just artists with the COVID thing. It's also digital distributors, so we're sort of struggling with that. So we looked for another suitable date, and it's quite an important super moon, the last super moon of the spring of 2020. So we were happy to bring it to you guys today.
Awesome. Can you tell us something about this new single? Because I actually don't know anything about it, and probably our viewers don't either. So, what's it about?
Well, I would say, Sarah, I
So,
think you brought in the
Yeah.
initial thingy for the song.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's about the forgotten people. So fairies or other creatures from mythology and folklore that we don't really hear about anymore because people have stopped telling those stories to their kids. So basically the song is written from the perspective of a fairy who's still there but no one sings about her anymore.
No,
Oh.
that's kind of
It's
sad.
basically like Neil Gaiman's American Gods. If people stop believing, they sort of lose their power and sort of fade. And I think we're sort of preaching to the choir as well with the Castlefest audience here that they do tell their fairy tales. But I think it's a general trend that's been going on, that an iPad is valued higher than a good fairy tale.
Yeah, that's true. Well, luckily they have you to tell their story then.
I couldn't
I
catch that.
can't hear you.
Oh.
Shoot. I said, luckily they have you to tell their story.
Didn't get that either.
luckily,
Oh no!
they got you to tell their story. No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we're sort of ambassadors
Yeah.
to the fairy world.
So I've already watched it, and I must say I love it very much. It's a real song, and it's complete, and it's also multilingual.
Bilingual.
yeah,
Bilingual.
three languages.
Three.
Yeah.
So 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Trois.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
What's the
Joe,
third?
tell us something about that, Mister.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just thought it was interesting when we were rehearsing this. We were singing it in Dutch, and it just occurred that it might be interesting to try this in Irish. And we thought that's a bit of a wacky idea, but then we tried translating the lyrics into Irish, and it sounded great. And like obviously, Ireland is full of fairy stories and fairy rings and fairy forts, so. The energy in Ireland is amazing. Like my wife is Polish, and the first time she went to Ireland, she was going, "Oh my God! Like I've come home here. Like the west of Ireland is it's like going back thousands of years." So we tried singing it in Irish, and luckily Sarah has some experience of that from Anuna. So it was relatively painless. We came up with the lyrics; they matched the song. Sarah sings it really well. And I think people are going to be surprised. I think this is probably the first time that anybody has released a single in Dutch and Irish. I'd be willing to bet on that.
I believe you right away.
Absolutely.
I have two more questions. One is, you guys made this video, but it's more than just a split screen video. You kind of made a little story of it, right? Lars.
yeah. Well, the little story we made was the telling of the forgotten peoples to the younger generation is important, and we want to keep that in there. And it's also the symbology of a child is very open to a lot of things, so we think it's important to tell the fairy tales to them. So we wanted something to do with Shane, the son of Joe, with him playing around in a fairy door, as if by playing in the wild, letting be set free by roaming in the wild and not being on his iPad, he found a way to the old fairies, and then you hear the song about the forgotten peoples. So that's what we try to do.
There he is.
And here's the star in the
It
video.
worked.
When you watch the video, you'll see this little guy at the beginning and at the end. So this is my son Shane.
Awesome.
Oh, and will this be a part of a new album, or how's that go?
How is what going?
Will this be a part of a new album?
Oh yes. Well,
Definitely.
it's
Yeah.
it's annoying. Like I think a lot of people that are listening to this and seeing this is yes, artists are struggling, and we were actually planning on recording the third album, and
Yay.
we sort of had to cancel those dates. We were going to Fika, and we did something already, but we were unable to finish. But thank God we had recorded this Pearl already. But yeah, so that definitely sucks, and it's we as a band always want to be in the studio all together, which makes it difficult for us. But we sort of want to keep the energy of everyone in the songs, even though it's not practical and not economical. But so yeah, we had to cancel that, but thankfully we recorded this before everything went down.
So shall we take a look then?
Well, I want to add, apparently my microphone wasn't on, sorry. But I haven't seen it yet, like most of the viewers, and I'm really excited about the Dutch and the Irish mixture and about the appearance of Shane. So, yay, bring it on.
Cool.
Okay, guys, thank you very much,
Yeah,
You're
for
welcome.
having us.
and hope we'll see you
Yeah.
soon.
Thank you.
definitely. Bye.
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 Bye bye.
Here's Seed with Het Vergeten Volk. Oh, that was beautiful, guys.
Wow, well done.
Thank you
well
very
done.
much. Yeah.
Amazing. And looking at the comments, everybody thinks that way. It's really, really well done.
Real good
Thanks.
job.
Thanks for sharing it with us.
Yeah, in I think 1.5 hours or something tonight, I will have a release party on, I believe, YouTube. Search for it, or please see.
We'll add it to the show notes as well, so you can find it.
Okay, time for the next people here. Ringing the group.
So, who's next?
Who's next? Next we'll have someone we've had before.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah,
And it's not short.
it's not short.
Oh.
No, but he's furniture. He's not.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay!
What?
There we
Now
go.
they are here. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yay! Welcome.
Oh man, that song was so awesome. Thank you so much. Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice to hear.
Here we have Laurens from Paralysis and Anneke from The Flask. How are you guys doing?
Very great. Very
Just been
great.
back on rehearsal, so I'm really in music still.
Cool. You guys did a project together. How did that start, Laurens?
Yeah, so we wanted to do a collaboration, playing together, maybe at a festival where we would meet. But didn't work out as planned, of course, because we were all at home. So Anneke said, yeah, we should actually still do something together. So that's what we did. Right, Anneke?
Yeah, we were thinking first of just jamming together and then play 2 songs of Paralysis and 2 songs of us, and well, then we decided, well, maybe 2 songs is a bit too much, but let's play one of your most folky songs, and then one of our most piratey songs, and well, it actually worked out pretty nice, I think.
Cool.
Well, I think as well.
Yeah, so we started off with a Paralysis song that is very much the most folky song, and it's about a Scotsman that goes questing, traveling through Scotland, looking for his one true love.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things happen on the way, of course, and then the Flask people added their instruments, and it's it's over the top folk, and it's really, really jolly, and I'm very happy with how it turned out.
I feel like I'm in a pub when I listen to it.
Dude, grab a beer, please. Yeah.
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 And currently we're still working on the other song from the Flask. Anneke, can you tell about that?
Yeah, it's well, we consider ourselves as a Celtic folk band, but we have another. Yeah, recently we did some fantasy stuff, and now we have some pirate stuff as well. So we wrote a song about a girl who wants to be a pirate, and yeah, well, that's a song about it. I'm not going to tell more. And we're still working on it. We just need some tiny bits to make it pretty perfect.
More accordion, of course.
More accordion, yeah, of course. Well, that's what I said
As
to Lauren, so
always.
you just do a strike again. We want more accordion. That's some of the instruments we lack in our band. So it's really nice to have one because it's so piratey. Yeah, and I think it will be ready in 2 or 3 weeks. And hopefully we can then show it to you again. And then our project is complete.
We'll see you back then.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great.
So perfect.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the music of the Flask too, because I've seen you for the first time this time. It's great.
Yeah, we're sort of new, but not that new. We've played on with Winterfair and Archeon 3 times now. Last year on Zomerfolk and 2 times on Fancyfest in Rijswijk. So, we played on some festivals, but well, all of us are ending our working on our thesis, so that's been a bit busy last years. So this year we wanted to go for it, and well, then
Then this
stuff happens.
happened.
So now we just go for it in a digital way. We
Perfect.
released our first single in December, but you can hear it, and that's it for now. And now we have something with Paralysis, and it's really cool.
Well,
Okay.
I would say bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. Laurens, I want to thank
Thanks,
you again
guys.
for doing this so fast for us.
I had no sleep last night. It was just
Aw.
constant
No,
work. Erik is a slave driver, right?
I'm sorry.
I'm
So
sorry.
it's nice. Thanks a lot for having us.
Okay, what's
Thank you.
what's the song called?
Ladies of the Lochs.
Okay. Have fun with Paralysis and the Flask. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
I was a proud young carpenter and Glasgow was my home. But when all my friends found women hands, I felt so darn alone. So come spring I went to the Great Glens, because I had been told that the women of the Highlands are as beautiful as bold. At Loch Ness there was Sandra, with her braids so fair and long. She was the kind of poetic mind would sing about in a song. But when she broke my walking stick, she also broke my heart. And my search for a wife to wed was right back at the start. There was Rosie, 'twas a woman made of stone. There was no such strength by any length in just one man alone. But her body weighed 300 pounds, is a bit too much for me. So I went to the next loft to find a woman was still free. From Loch was a young girl from the farm, one woke without the slightest doubt, fall for her mighty charm. So enraged I was when I found out she slept with other men, and I gave up on my quest of finding true love again. Left without a woman, the cold winter's final day. I grabbed my pack and I went home back by the West Highland way. But there my heart it pounded out by our bonny braes, 'cause was by fair Loch Lomond that I'd spent my final days. She was the finest of the land, so excuse my shock when I bound a rock around the lady's hand. By all the loss I never met a girl so wild and free. Now the Bella is the only one for me.
Wow.
Thank you, guys.
These songs are making me really happy, actually.
Yeah, and thirsty.
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 Yeah, well, luckily.
We have. Cheers.
Every good, folk music is good music when it makes you thirsty.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Thank you, Paralysis and the Flask.
Yeah. Well, so next up is this will be a third time that we will ask Sjoerd to play some tunes on the banjo, and it's up to you to guess the song. So both artist and song name. You can enter your answers on Facebook, where we uploaded a picture, and the first one who has every song, so once again, title and artist, right, will get a shout out. But I have to add something because we didn't have a proper name for this part of the show, and we asked for suggestions. And last week, somebody called Vinny 142 or 142 added the Banjo Bonanza, and we loved it. So here comes.
Well, that's nice, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see that again.
One more time.
Well, I can watch that all night.
Yeah.
It's just a bumper.
Yeah, it's just a bumper.
Just a bumper is enough.
Made especially for you. You deserved it for being
Being our furniture.
being our furniture.
So
It's the first time I get anything other than beer out of doing something like this.
So maybe we should start with the first song then.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So the beginning.
Upload your answers to Facebook, not on the YouTube chat because otherwise you'll spoil it. So please,
Yeah, Ricky.
on Facebook. And
Yeah. Ricky.
don't spoil it.
No.
First one.
Watching you. Oh, first one is the hardest one for me,
What?
not for you, for me. So, first one, there we go.
That's doable, I think.
Yeah, it's doable, it's doable. I made one slight oopsie, but still doable. I think the second one is doable as well.
Number 2.
Number 2, there we go. I'll do that again, because I can do it.
It was enough, but do it again. Do it
I
again.
love it, I love doing it. It's all the furniture. That's better.
That's better. I think you need a little pause.
Yes!
Okay, number 3.
We should have the bumper actually with numbers.
Yeah.
And then so one.
No.
No, we won't do that. But it's the first time.
Yeah.
We can show him a few times.
Okay.
Number three.
We used to sing this at school.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah?
I sang it at the middelbare school.
Yeah.
High school.
High school.
I sang it at high school, yes. I did.
Okay.
I never loved the song until I heard the original. This is a hard one.
Number 4.
Number 4. This is a hard one. But, I know it, and my daughter knows it. So if my daughter knows it, why don't you know it? There we go.
I don't know it.
I do actually.
Good.
So, no beer for you.
No.
Nope.
Shame on your upbringing.
Number 5.
Number 5.
That's actually also kind of tough. The song is very, very famous, but
Yeah, the only problem is it could be 10 other
yeah,
songs.
that's,
But it's just one song.
It's just one song.
Yes. Oh yeah, next one. This is very.
That was
easy.
it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Okay.
Should be enough.
Yeah.
Should be enough. Last chord wasn't really there, but there's It's okay. So, another easy one, especially for Castlefest fans and public. Recognize this in an instant.
Everybody should know this one.
Everybody should know this, even if it's in a different key. Now going to a harder part. This is a track, actually, by I think the most famous prog rock band in the Netherlands I've ever seen.
That's actually a clue.
Yeah,
It is.
it is a clue.
It is the truth. It's the truth.
But it was international, right?
Yeah, at least in England.
Yeah.
Actually, they still tour England. So there we go. It's not their biggest hit, but one of their most famous.
Number...
Eight.
Number-
I think.
Yes, 8.
Number eight.
8 on your list of bingo there, guy.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a hard knock of life.
Yeah, this
No.
doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
That doesn't count. No,
There was no question. Forget that.
There was no banjo. but-
Short.
Sorry.
Stick it. Stick to your list.
Number 9.
But you know, number nine.
Everybody knows that one.
Everybody
knows.
Everybody of our generation should know that.
And last but not least.
Last but not least, something that I just started learning to play 5 minutes ago. So, hope this works.
I have no clue at all.
No clue at all.
No.
Shame on your upbringing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, it was a bit of if I had like 5 minutes more, like to rehearse this one, I probably would have the right chords, all of them, but I could hear the song in it.
Good.
Well,
Good.
it kind of needs to be a challenge, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
This was...
I'm kind of regretting this bumper already.
Yeah.
If ever I die, I want that to be when the casket goes down into the fire. I want that to be played on my funeral. The casket goes down. That should be the bumper, like in the loop.
We will. Next week it will be there again. So you can put your answers in the Facebook comments.
Yeah, onto our Facebook post, and our jury will decide who's the first, who has the correct answers for both the artist and the title, and you will get a shout out in this broadcast later on.
Time for a blast from the past.
Yes, time for a blast from the past.
We have lost track of time. It's because you guys are so wonderful to play for. Thank you so much. Seven moonlit tears I cried. Tides collided in my eyes. Waves can on the moonlit shore, but they can't hurt me anymore. Ooh. a surging wave of pale moonlight. A seal-spun daughter of the tides. Never again a captive bride. Thank you.
That was Ivor.
Sweet memory, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I can remember seeing her on the Castlefest stage.
You cried, right?
By that time I cried a little, yeah. Same together with Fika, our friend.
Wonderful performance. Hope to see that again, for sure, absolutely. But we have another guest waiting.
Yeah, well, not waiting yet. I have to call her. Let's see if she's there. She is there, I think.
Yeah, almost. There we go.
Hello, Katinka.
Welcome.
Nice to be here.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, working from home, living from home. Luckily, I've got a garden. Not much time to write, but it's all got its ups and downs like everyone else.
So to introduce yourself to our audience, a lot of people know you already, but not everybody, I assume. So could you tell us something about who you are?
Who's Katinka? I'm Katinka van Sprundel. I'm a writer and I play a bit of music, but most of the time now I'm writing mythical fantasy. It's for young adults still, 99. And my first book was De Vrouwen van Meerden. It's one of the first being published in a couple of years ago, and I presented it on Castlefest. And my latest novella is The Held van Anwin, and they're both based on Welsh mythology, the Mabinogion. And like Seed is doing, they are making contact with the spirits and fairy tales from the other world. I do it with stories and bring them in a new light, a new story, and hopefully a new reader.
So the forgotten people, like Seed was talking about, they owe Seed for the song to remember us, not to forget them, but they also owe you for the books, right?
Yeah, when I was studying literature, I was inspired by the Mabinogion Welsh mythology, and everyone knows the Edda, everyone knows Odysseus, and all the other myths. But when I say, yes, have you ever heard of the Mabinogion? And most people are Dutch and English are
Nope.
What?
No clue.
But I hear a lot of stories.
But the strange thing is, a lot of people have heard about King Arthur, but he is actually the first tales that are about King Arthur are from the Welsh mythology. So people absolutely take a look, dive into the Mabinogion and the Welsh literature, but start with Katinka's work because it's in Dutch, but
it will also be available in English.
Yay!
When I was selling my books, I had a lot of people, yeah, I love it, I would like to read it, but isn't it in English? So I thought, yeah, maybe we'd try. So the Held of Anwin, the hero of Anwin, that's a retelling of the myth of Puig and Rhiannon. I let it translate last year, and it had to be presented for the first time on Castlefest. But yeah, so right now it's still in production, but I want to give you a teaser by reading a part of it in English with my Dutch accent. And hopefully, if you're really interested, send me a message, because it was a special English festival edition for people to see if they would be interested. So when I already tell I'm starting to read a bit of it later on. So if you like it, keep in touch, and we'll be on your way.
Awesome.
Where can we find it?
The Dutch version are already available at every Amazon, bol.com, etc. But the English one is right now exclusively with me. So go to www.cathinca.com, Cathinca.com.
We'll put it in the show
We'll
notes.
add it to the show notes so everybody can find you.
And find me on Facebook and let me know. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay. So you made a little clip for us?
I made a little clip. I tell something about the first chapter. It's a story about Puig, a young prince who accidentally insults Aram, king of the other world, and to save his neck, he needs to transform into this otherworldly king and pretend to fight the evil Halfdan. But he's 17 years old, and then you have to be an immortal king from the other world, so that's no easy task. And he meets Rhiannon, and she helps him on his way, and it's really adventurous, mythical, and I hope you like it.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Well, let's have a look then.
And thank you, Cathinca, for...
Bye!
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 The Hero of Anwin. Chapter 1. The Hunter. I should have never have gone after that white deer. Sadly, I only realized this after I had signed a contract that would change my life forever. In that moment, I was consumed by the hunt and the honor it would bring me. My finest sword, belt for the one who catches that deer. I called out of the record of the horses and the hounds. I heard my brother Evan shout behind me, and my best knife. Then you better hurry. You don't have that many left, I yelled back, though I couldn't be sure if he had heard me. I spurred Alban on and pressed myself flat against his back. This unique prey could not be allowed to escape. Truly, I wish my friends all the best, but I will be the one to take this animal home. I moved my javelin aside and whispered a signal to the hounds. Without thinking, I used my knees to maneuver my horse through the undergrowth. Leaves whirled into the air, and I ignored the branches clawing at my trousers. My breath and that of my stallion created puffs of cloud, and the cold of the air scorched my throat. The weather had turned. This morning had come with the promise of warmth and sunshine. A white flash in the corner of my eye made me sit up straight in the saddle. There! He wouldn't get away from me. I made my horse turn and had him gain speed. My short hair was sticking to my forehead, and Alban's fur felt clamped to the touch. Just a little longer. I knew the stag was getting exhausted. The tree line smoothed up the hill into a clearing, and there he stood in all his glory, surrounded by the hounds. I could see his heart thumping in his throat, and his lustrous coat, white as the clouds, sent a mist of sweat into the air. Bringing this one home would greatly improve my standing. The animal would serve as a sign of good fortune. But where were Evan and the others? Shouldn't they have caught up with me now? As I pulled back my arm to throw the javelin, another group house suddenly jumped out of the bushes onto the stag. Within seconds, they had seized the deer by the throat and overpowered him. Surprised, I tried to understand what was happening. These sleek, grey animals did not belong to one of my 13 comrades. Anger took hold of me. I hadn't chased this beast across hill and dale just to lose it to this strange pack. Get the blaze out of there! That deer's mine! I called out as I rode towards them. They ran away with their tails between their legs. I dismounted and examined the deer, but just lying on the ground. Those strange hound had torn into him quite a bit, for I could see that the life in his eyes had not yet faded. I grabbed my long knife and ended its suffering. I pressed the knife into the grass to wipe off the blood and put it back into his sheath. Thank you for the good hunt and good luck into the afterlife. I muttered a short prayer my mother had taught me. A rustling in the bushes startled me. One of the grey hounds that I chased off had come back and stepped into the clearing. His ears flat and his eyes glowing red. Behind the others of the group appeared an imposing figure, materializing in their midst. If this man was as skilled with a weapon as he was broad and muscular, he would be an incredibly fierce foe. His jet black hair fell around his broad face like a mane, and the collar matched his short circle perfectly. A graceful tattoo ran down from his temple and disappeared into his short-sleeved grey tunic. Hunter, the man said with a low echoing voice. I know who you are, but I won't reach you.
Thank you very much, Katinka.
I actually want to buy that book right now.
Yeah.
How about you guys? I'm really enthusiastic.
I've seen it on every festival where we come, so...
So we'll add to the show notes where you can find it, how to contact Katinka and how to get a book yourself.
Yeah. So now we have a do-it-yourself video.
Yeah, we asked one of our amazing volunteers from the first year. She has always been with us, not only as a volunteer but also as an artist. You might know her from Amma. She created a video for us to tell you how to pimp your shirts, because she already does this and has done this many times, and now she will explain to you how you can do it yourself.
Yeah, because the waistline isn't always that nice.
Kind of straight and boring, so if you want to do something interesting with it, pay attention.
Okay, here it is.
Hello Femke, hello Erik, and hello Castlefest people. Today I want to talk to you about t-shirts because, let's be honest, sometimes they need a little work. I want to show you a few ways how you can change your shirts without using a sewing machine. So all you really need is a pair of good sharp scissors and a little bit of nerve. So let's get started. I have here an old Castlefest shirt, which Femke was nice enough to send to me. Thank you for that. And we're going to give it a little bit more weight because this shirt is straight down. And we're going to start cutting from the bottom about 3 centimeters in and 1.5 centimeters apart. Now this is going to take a minute, so in the meantime, let's have some music. Alright, I'm going to turn the shirt around and do the same on the other side. Alright, that's all done. Now, I'm going to turn it on the side. I just put a sheet of paper underneath the cut so you can see a little better what I'm doing. Take the top one and then one underneath that goes under, over and down. And that makes your new loop. Then the one beneath that goes under, over and down. And the next one, just pull them, the next one through the loop you're making. It becomes a rhythm, a bit like crochet. You get this nice ladder shaped structure. You can go over through and down, it doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent in what you're doing. And when you've got the last one pulled through, Take your scissors, cut it in half, and you can tie them off separately. Just knot it, whichever way you like. And that's tied off. I'm going to do the other side. Now you can actually do this a second time as well, make a second ladder, and that is going to make it even tighter, but keep in mind that it's also going to make the fabric curl up a bit towards itself, so it's going to get more curve here, and it's going to have a bit of curve at the hem at the bottom. So keep that in mind when you do that. Also to keep in mind, if you've got a shirt that already has a seam on the side, don't do this. Don't do this over the seam, because the seams will come undone and you'll just have your shirt falling apart. So if you have a shirt with a seam, do it in front of it or on the back side next to it. Just stay next to the seam, don't go over it. If you're like me, you hate high necklines and t-shirts. They feel like they choke me. So I'm going to cut it out. And the easiest way to cut it out is to just follow the existing neckline and take maybe 5-6 centimeters off. So just gonna cut through there like this. Now if you want a neckline that is wider or that is deeper but narrower, I would suggest cut half of the neckline the way you want it to, and then fold it over, and then follow that cut line on the other side, so you make sure it's symmetrical. We don't need this. So if you want to leave this unhemmed, you can do that. It's pretty punk rock actually. Just keep in mind that it's going to look scruffy pretty quickly, if that's what you want, but it is also going to curl around a bit. So make sure you leave about 1.5 centimeters, maybe 2, for the fabric to curl around, because it does that naturally. Personally, I like to hem my necklines off because not only is it a little bit neater, it also lasts longer. I use my sewing machine, but if you don't have one, but you do have needle and thread, I would suggest using what is called the blanket stitch. It's a very easy stitch and it will make sure that you have a nice tidy hemline. I'm going to do one more thing for this particular t-shirt. I'm going to make cuts in the sleeve, but I'm going to make them a bit of a triangle. So I'm going to start out with a very broad cut, nice and deep. And then the next one, again 1.5 centimeters distance, is going to be just a little bit shorter. And the next one is shorter still. There we go. I'm going to do that on the other side as well. I'm going to try and do this just by eye. If you want to make sure that it's symmetrical, you could maybe draw it out first, but yeah. I like to live life on the wild side. Alright, before that's finished, you could just lay it on your hand and just go like that a bit. And it will cause the strips of fabric to curl up. They are going to do that eventually anyway, but this just helps them. And we have a little more skin on the shoulders. I think this one's finished. I might wear it next time we see each other on Castlefest.
Thank you, Hannah, for a really good explanation on how to do this. If you want to do it yourself, we have a lot of shirts in our merchandise shop. Order one, try it yourself, show us your results in the comments on Facebook. We would love to see what you create.
Definitely.
Also, Hannah will make another video soon, so for some variation in shirts. A lot of people are asking about masks. We don't know yet, but we will forward the question to the merchandise team. So who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
For now, we have another blast from the past. So
Yeah.
what did you have in store?
Well,
for us?
we already had this one once.
Oh,
This
really?
band.
This band.
Yeah, and it's a really old recording, but I thought it will be fun to see them again. This we'll have another Corvus Corax with Wadakoyo, the drums, the big drums.
Some Japanese drummers.
Japanese drummers.
Okay.
That's better. Yeah. So it's from 2012. My video skills weren't that good back then, but it's still nice to see, I think.
So enjoy.
Enjoy.
Listen! Now, you know, afro, den sepetiljen, afro, den sepetiljen. Afro, den sepetiljen, afro, den sepetiljen. Afro, den sepetiljen, afro, den sepetiljen. Afro, den sepetiljen, afro, den sepetiljen.
That was Corvus Corax, rock and roll.
Nice video. I
Yeah.
think your skills were pretty good back then.
And a lot of people back there. Oh, how I missed it.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Quite the party.
Hugging everybody.
Well, hopefully
Right, George?
soon.
Yeah, it's usually my summer that usually starts with Elvia in April and it goes on till October. I'm missing everything now.
Aw. But luckily,
I have you guys.
you have us.
You have us.
And a bumper.
And a bumper. I wouldn't have had a bumper if it weren't for
And a bumper.
I want to have a t-shirt of that.
We'll make you a t-shirt.
Well, a lot of people try to find the correct answers to all 10 songs, but nobody could find all the answers. So we are going to give a shout out to the person that had 6 correct answers, and that is Steven Newlands, or App.
And Monkeyfish. Congratulations, Steven. Well, I actually know, we know him.
Yeah, we
all
know
know him.
So, but we didn't only invite you for the Banjo Bonanza.
Didn't you?
I think you made another video.
Yeah, no, I just have nothing to do, so yeah, we just keep on making videos, yeah.
Yeah, if we're short with videos, I'll just give Sjoerd a call.
Always have Sjoerd.
I'll send 5 or 6. Or how many you want?
But what did you do this time?
Well, listen, I have a band with a friend of mine. It's a duo called the Jolly Gents.
We already saw a video of the Jolly Gents, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, a couple of weeks back we did Smooth Criminal. No, that was not. We did the Trooper of Iron Maiden.
Yeah. I said it was Smooth Criminal, but it was my fault. That's why probably.
It's okay. Yeah, and we do a lot of things because we have. We just started out with a band before the Corona crisis began, and we're releasing our first album on the 15th of August. It's still on, and in the meantime, we just thought, well, hey, let's just get some music out there. So we had a lot of friends who said, we asked, oh, you want to join us? And one of those friends actually said, well, I'd like to record a song with you. Is Tineke Rosenboom. She's a brilliant soprano singer from the Netherlands, who does a lot for Hollywood productions as well. And she was actually one of the first who said, yeah, I'd like to work with a banjo and accordion player. Yeah, so we did a couple of the Benjamin Britten folk repertoire. Benjamin Britten was a classical composer and arranger, and he did 25 arrangements of traditional Scottish and Irish folk songs. And this is a very well-known song called "The Trees They Grow High," or "Daily Growing" as it's better known.
Awesome. Well, shall we have a look at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you enjoy it.
The Jolly Gents with "The Trees They Grow So High."
That's the title.
The trees they grow so high, and the leaves they do grow green, and many a cold winter's night, my love is a growing. Oh, Father, dearest Father, you've done to me great wrong. You tied me to a boy when you know he is too young. Oh, daughter, dearest daughter, now wait a little while. A lady you shall be while he's growing. Growing, a lady you shall be while he's growing. I'll send him off to college for a year or two, and then in the meantime he will do for you. I'll buy him white ribbons, tie them round his funny waist, to let the ladies know that he's married. Married, married, to let the ladies know that he's married. I went up to the college and looked over the wall, saw 24 gentlemen playing at bat and ball. I called for my true love, but they would not let him come. Oh, because he was a young boy and growing. Growing, growing, because he was a young boy and growing. At the age of 16 he was a married man, and at the age of 17 he was father to a son, and at the age of 18 the grass grew o'er him. Cruel death soon put an end to his growing. Growing, cruel death soon put an end to his growing. And now my love is dead, and in his grave doth lie. The green grass grows o'er him so very, very high. I'll sit and I'll mourn his fate until the day I die, and I'll watch all o'er his child while he's growing. Growing, growing, and I'll watch all o'er his child while he's growing.
Oh. Oh.
Yes! The buff was so nice.
This was actually. This was wrong.
No, it wasn't.
This was actually an error. We like it so much.
This was not a good end for the beautiful music. For the beautiful music.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Sorry guys.
Sorry
for the bumper.
Thank you, Jolly Gents. And they need friends on YouTube.
Yeah, we will add their channel to the show notes.
And go find them.
So subscribe for all amazing Jolly Gents videos.
Yes.
And give them some more very gently music. And they are collecting friends right now on YouTube, so please subscribe.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. We're almost at the end of this episode, but not before we do another weird wardrobe challenge. Last week we introduced this, and one of our colleagues, Robert, will try to dress up like something you suggested with 5 items from his home. And this time he will become an elf. So, enjoy!
Hallo, welkom bij weer een nieuwe aflevering van de Quarantaine Dress-Up Challenge. En ook deze keer heb ik weer flink wat rondgezocht in de kasten om wat bij elkaar te vinden. Hé, wat zie ik daar nou?
Waar zijn die elfjes toch?
komt er eentje aan. Hallo, wie ben jij? Ik ben Mark. Mark? Ja, wie ben jij? Ik ben een elfje. Oh, ben je een elfje? Ja, ik ben een elfje. Oh. Zo, weer een elfje te pakken voor Castlefest.
So, for next week, if you have suggestions, sorry, they're laughing. If you have a good suggestion on what Robert should dress up like, leave it in the comments, and who knows, next week he will be dressed up like that with 5 items from his home. Thank you, Robert. Thank you all for watching. If you want to support any of our guests, check out the show notes in a bit because we will include all the information on where to find them, on how to support them. You can support us as well, buy some merchandise, pimp your shirt with it, be a patron. We will have awesome, amazing extra content for you as well. And hopefully we will see you soon.
Yeah, and with that, we'll let Sjoerd give us an outro. We'll see you next week.
Without bumper.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.